Power takes an approach as a coach.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's a field back block, and that's
He's the guy that throws his body around.
Mike Drop Sports. Steel City Live.
What is up, everybody? Appreciate you for diving in week one of your regular season for the Pittsburgh Steelers and the rest of the NFL, really, as we dive in here and this journey starts. The journey now starts for your Pittsburgh Steelers, and we'll see exactly how this team really truly looks, as preseason really isn't such a great indicator anymore in these times. We've seen the Steelers go undefeated, score on every single drive, and completely lay eggs in the regular season. We've seen them be terrible in the preseason and, go on and do great things. So, big things here today as we get to see what these Pittsburgh Steelers are really, really about and what a lot of teams in the NFL are really, really about. So, again, can't wait to dive in. What's up, Daniel Warman? Good to see you, man. James Bauman, what's up, man? Good to see you. What's up, Mike Drum Sports family? It'll be great chatting with all of you. Absolutely, man. James says, hold on one second. James says, Jason, how's your son's team doing? My kid's teams is 4-0, only let up one TD so far this year. We have only played 2 games. We've been on a 2-week hiatus in terms of games. So we have one. This will be a game week here. So 2-0 still, haven't let up any points yet. So we'll see how that all continues to unfold. They're doing okay though, so we'll see what happens moving forward. But man, football's been in full swing. It's crazy. You guys have already played 4 games. That's awesome. But we had our bye week, and we had a team that wasn't going to play. So we're kind of in that like 3-week period, which is kind of crazy. But we travel 2 hours away next Sunday, so that'll probably be a problem. I got to see when the Steeler game is, so we'll figure all that out then. Another Wombat in the house. What's up, my friend? Tom Ford in the house. What's up, Jason, and everybody else in the chat? Good to see you, Tom. John Hyman, here we go. We absolutely, let's go. Tom Ford waving those terrible towels. Zuku, Steelers Nation. What James Bauman says. He's talking to Tom. He says, my son got 3 TDs on my B-Day. Best B-Day present ever. Awesome. We'll tell him I said congratulations. That's really, really cool, man. My son had a 3 TD game last year, and I thought it was pretty freaking wild, man. I thought that was crazy. So that's pretty awesome for a little kid, and definitely really cool to see. Jay Hook in the house. What's up, Josh? What's up, everyone? Good to see you, man. Tom says, I'm in 5 fantasy football leagues. 3 of them are pay leagues. Well, good luck, man. I hope you win some money there, Tom. Daniel Warman says, was there a problem with Cam Hayward, and do you think he'll be back next year? Great to see you back. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate it. There was no problem. The problem was he wanted more money, and that was his biggest problem. And he says that there is no issues, and that he wanted more money because he only gets to play this game once, and he wants to benefit on and off the field as much as humanly possible. Do I blame him for that? No, I can't dog him for that. But what I can dog him for is the timing of the situation. I thought that was a odd timing, considering what happened last year when he signed that new deal. I thought that was a real issue for me, and I think it was an issue for a lot of fans, considering over 15 seasons, this guy's made almost 150 million or more. Over those 15 years. So by the time this is all said and done, he's going to be pushing 160 million after the 2025 season for career earnings. So I don't think the timing was a desperate time for him to go out there and get more money. And I think ahead of the 2025 season, when there's so much riding on this defense, when there's so much belief in what this defense can do, I think that was a big issue for me. If you're going to be a leader of a football team, I think that 150 million will suffice for the time being. And if you needed more money, you come back to the table after this year. Will he be back next year? I don't know. I would say probably. I would say the chances are yes. And I don't believe Aaron Rodgers will be done. It just depends on the situation that happens. They win a Super Bowl, he walks away and never comes back. I think if they win a Super Bowl, Cam Hayward walks away and never comes back. However, I think if they get just into the playoffs, they win a couple playoff games, a playoff game or two, I think both of those players come back. So I think it's very circumstantial on how all this plays out. And I think that this week one is so important, my friends. So important. Aaron Rodgers going back to New Jersey to play the New Jersey Jets. Justin Fields, the guy that's quarterbacking, was with the Steelers last year, got benched really benched back for Russell Wilson. So there are all those feelings and all those storylines there. There's injury for the Pittsburgh Steelers, two injuries that I think are very significant. The Derek Harmon injury, not having Derek Harmon, I think is a heavy blow because I thought he was going to be a major contributor here early in the season, especially when you have an aging guy like Cam Hayward. I thought having some of the young guys in there on a more continual basis really preserves Cam Hayward for a late season push. But I don't think Derek Harmon will be gone too long, so we'll see what happens there. You do have Skylar Thompson out, but the other big one I think that's an issue is Herbig's out. So we'll see how that all unfolds. But definitely guys can fill in different places. Guys can do some different things. And I think this defense will be just fine considering what they have in terms of depth. And I always tell you guys, depth is definitely the key to winning football games. Let's keep going. Armand, I'm looking forward to the best show in the universe. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Armand. Armin, sorry, man. I don't know why I always say your name wrong sometimes. Athlete Prods YT, what's up, man? Zuku. I had Justin Herbert on the bench on my bench in fantasy. Oh, that's a good thing to have, though. If you have somebody better than Justin Herbert, I think he's one of the top quarterbacks in the league right now. AQ, we're back, cousin. What's up, Big Doug? Zach Curry, Cam Hayward now has incentives. If another All-Pro year, he gets $3 million. Yeah, and to cause that disruptions, was it worth $3 million in the grand scheme of this? When you're going to make, basically 14, $15 million for this season, was it worth to cause the disruption? Was it worth to cause the media circus for that $3 million when you're a guy that has $150 million in career earnings? I think sometimes you got to weigh out what's going to happen here, the cause and effect of everything that you do. So definitely, I think the timing was off for Cam Hayward. Am I going to let this ruin, in my opinion, am I going to let this take 15 years of Cam Hayward being out there, being absolutely lights out, being amazing, doing so many great things on and off the field, in the community, on the football field? Am I going to allow this couple months of bullshit that he's caused to ruin his legacy as a Steeler? I'm going to say no. I'm going to answer that as no, but I will say this, it leaves a sour taste in my mouth because it makes me question what you're there for. And I understand it's a business. I understand it's your job. But I don't think you're hurting for any money. I don't think that you're desperate for any money. He's not a player that was in a bad spot financially. And that's why I think the timing was off. That's why I think if you were really in tune after 15 years to finally win a Lombardi trophy, finally have that confetti rain down on you, I think you would have been more interested in figuring out how to give other people more money to bring other players in and taking the deal that you currently just got the season prior. I think you would have been okay with that. And I think that's the issue for me. But we're going to talk about what do we got to do on the field today against the Jets? What do we got to do offensively, defensively? What do we got to? What are we going to need to see special teams wise? And what this means here in Week 1? And I know Week 1 is whatever happens, happens. Just let them get their feet underneath them. I think Week 1 is a very important game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think getting off to a fast start for the Pittsburgh Steelers is imperative. If you look at the Steelers and you look at what Las Vegas has put out there in terms of their odds for the Pittsburgh Steelers, they are underdogs in basically every game. Every single game right now as it sits. And I know those are early projections from Vegas, but those do play into this. These guys, they're not in the business of being wrong often. So it's not often that they are wrong in a big way. So you look at the Steelers being underdogs, you say to yourself, what could this season really look like if what Vegas says happens? I believe this. I believe that the Steelers could be a 7-10 football team if they don't really watch themselves, a 6-11 football team. That's why I believe that getting off to a fast start is so imperative. Aaron Rodgers getting in rhythm, getting into step early, being able to deliver the football quickly and precisely. Those are very important. Utilizing that tight end room in a big way because they have to be an important key to this puzzle offensively to score points. You look at the defense. Yes, maybe age does worry you at times, but this is a year TJ Watt really has to come out and be superhuman, in my opinion. I think he needs to guide this football team and have them motivated each and every week defensively to be really good. So we'll see, but we'll dive into all that as we go. I'm going to continue to catch up in the chat since we haven't been on as much as we would like to be. Tom Ford, it looks like the Steelers aren't signing or trading for a wide receiver 1 or 2. Well, they have a wide receiver 1, Tom, and the trade deadline isn't until what, week 6, 7, something like that. I have to look to verify it, but the trade deadline isn't up till then. So maybe, just maybe, Tom, the situation is this. Maybe Omar Khan is saying, look, I'm comfortable with this roster as it sits right now. I am comfortable with what we got, that I think we can win ball games, and I think we can win ball games at a good clip. So maybe he's taking that time and saying, hey, we're going to continue to work toward a trade with somebody, try to continue to work that out. And as teams fall off the map during the regular season, they start to be, out of the picture really early. Losing ball game after ball game. Maybe they have a wide receiver they'll want to dish off before the trade deadline. And if you're the Steelers, why would you go out there and make any type of significant move if you're not going to win ball games, if you're not going to be able to be in that competitive picture? So maybe that's the plan of Omar Khan, because really, guys, they have a multitude of number 2 wide receivers considering the tight end room. The tight end room could be very versatile. And I did a show a while ago, earlier in the summer, once they got Jonnu Smith, I did a show about how this tight end room could be the best tight end room that we've seen since the Patriots, Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski days. And I truly believe that, guys. I really do. And I want you guys to really pay attention to that, because this tight end room could really spell big things. All right, guys, hold on. I think I've seen a couple super chats come in. Let me get those up there. Definitely awesome, man. Thank you. Super chat coming in from Armin. Hi, Jason. Good to have you on board. What are your predictions for the Browns, Bengals, Jets, Steelers, Patriots, Raiders, Commanders, Giants? So you have Browns, Bengals. My prediction for Browns, Bengals is the Bengals run away with that one. I don't think the Browns are going to be a good football team. Again, thank you for the super chat. Then you asked about the Steelers, Patriots. I think the Patriots win that ball game. I think it's going to be tough for the Steelers to win it, but I think week 1's going to show us a lot. So my 2 may change by 4 o'clock today on that one, but I would take the Patriots. Why? Going into Foxborough, you have Vrabel, you have a new and exciting team up there in New England that I think the Steelers going onto the road are at a disadvantage there, to be real with you. Again, that may change after today. Then you're talking about you wanted Jets. Okay, Jets, Steelers. I'm going to take the Steelers today, and I'm going to take them in a big way, and I'm going to give you my score after about midway through the show. Then you wanted Raiders or Patriots, Raiders. I'll go with the Patriots there. Then you want Commanders, Giants. I'm going to take the Commanders. I think the Commanders are a really good football team. Jaden Daniels was the best quarterback in that draft, and he proved it. And he's going to continue to prove that. And I think another year in that system, another year as a NFL player, I think you see a big game from one Jaden Daniels. AK Davis with another super chat. Thank you. AK, hi, Jason. Thanks for keeping things going. We appreciate you. It's great to have real NFL back. Absolutely, AK. We appreciate you, my friend. Thank you very much. If I missed your chat, you can put it back in as I get confused. When super chats come in, I start to get mixed up, and I appreciate the super chats. Thank you so very much. But just put your chat comment back in, and I will get to them as I always do. AQ, Doug, what's up, my cousin Big Doug in the house? They say they're going to be in 12, 13 personnel 95% of the time, and the run game is going to eat this year with Rodgers' ability to check in and out of runs. I think we have two 1,000-yard rushers. I think Doug's on to something there. I think AQ definitely is on to something. And when you talk about the 12, 13 personnel sets, I totally agree. I think there's no reason not to be. But I also talked about this, Doug, and I think being in a 12, 13 personnel sets for the Steelers is going to look vastly different because of the tight end room. Why do I say that? Because you can check in and out of those plays like you were talking about, but you can also pre-snap, pre-cadence, move the formation around in a big way and still have stability considering the athleticism and the ball skills of that tight end room. Pat Fryermuth, Jonnu Smith. You can move Jonnu Smith all around the formation, fullback, slot guy, everything. He can do it all. He blocks, he catches, he runs, he can do everything. You look at Pat Fryermuth, he's a true number two if you really look at it. Then you look at a guy like DK Metcalf, he is a mismatch nightmare. He is going to cause chaos. But when you are Aaron Rodgers, you're going to be able to still spread it out of the 12, 13 personnel sets using multiple tight ends. You are going to be able to still move that formation and create mismatches. And I think the Steelers have to utilize that and continue to change things up as the game goes along. Also, I think Jalen Warren is an excellent runner out of the backfield in terms of catching passes. I think Caleb Johnson will really thrive. And you look at Kenneth Gainwell, a guy that can definitely catch passes out of the backfield. So I think the Steelers have a lot of versatility that other teams don't inside of those heavier packages. And that is going to be the key, guys. And when you are able to move those pieces around and do those things, that's where you get what we call creating mismatches. It's going to be hard for opposing defenses to match up properly when they don't know exactly how you're going to be able to handle that. Are they going to throw it? Are they going to run it? And that's really going to be confusing for opposing defenses. And I know it sounds elementary, but it's really not. And I think it's going to be something that definitely is really confusing for opposing defenses moving forward. Challenger 22 in the house. I think the Steelers will win today, but I wouldn't bet the house on it. I don't trust Tomlin coach teams. I think Tomlin definitely has to be better situationally this year. And I said that last year also, and I said that the year before. Mike Tomlin definitely fouls things up in situational football. There's no arguing that. There's nothing you can say about that to say any different, to prove any different. Mike Tomlin is not good situationally. He doesn't understand the assignment in a lot of situations. So hopefully he is a little bit better. Hopefully he has a little bit more guidance that's helping him. Because let's face it, guys, it's tough to be an NFL head coach. That's why there's only 32 of them in the world. You know, it's very difficult to be an NFL head coach, especially be a good one. So I give Mike Tomlin a lot of credit for his ability to really match up with players and really be good in terms of the mentorship and things of that nature, and really having them on his side and wanting to play for him. But situationally, he has to be better. Timeout, clock management, challenges. He has to be better because it can cost you ball games late in the season. So definitely, I think the Steelers do win today. And I think they win big, guys. And I'm going to say that now. I won't give you my exact score just yet, but I think they win very big. And I literally just wrote my score down because I've been thinking about it and it popped into my head. I think the Steelers are going to win big, and I think they're going to win big quickly in this game. I think this is going to be a game that you see the Pittsburgh Steelers dominate from whistle to whistle. I think Justin Fields is going to be running for his life. I think a guy like Y.A. Black, guys like Cam Hayward, Keanu Benton, I think they're going to really eat because I think the Steelers are going to understand how to continue to contain a guy like Justin Fields, push him into the center of that Steelers defense, and allow the middle of the defensive line and the linebackers really come downhill and eat and beat up Justin Fields in a big, big way. So that's what I think. So the Steelers do win big today. I look for Aaron Rodgers not to be a superhuman throwing a football, but I look for 3 touchdown passes from Aaron Rodgers, and I look for a couple of them to be to tight ends without a doubt. And a player to watch today that I really, really want you to watch while we're on this topic, a player to watch today for me is Roman Wilson. I want to see what he does in first real action today. So that's somebody I really, really want to get to see. James Bauman says 27-10 Steelers. Mark Malone in the house. Let me get a drink. We're still in 11 more than 11 or more 65% of the time. Yeah, I mean, with the personnel the Steelers have, it's stupid not to be because they have versatility. Now, the part where the Steelers foul up is being able to utilize that personnel in the way that they should. All right, guys, make sure you're liking, sharing, all that good stuff. Again, I was sick of YouTube algorithm for a while, so that's a lot of the reason that I've been taking a little slow down. But the season's back. We're getting ready to roll, and we have real football to talk about. Daniel Warman says 24-21 Jets. He says, sorry, guys. No need to be sorry, man. We love accurate, truthful scores. Tom Ford says, I'm excited about Y.A. Black. Me too, man. He is a beast, Tom. Challenger 22 says, I think this is a big year for Tomlin. He wanted Rodgers. If this team tanks this year, it's going to all come down on Tomlin. Another year without a playoff win is going to determine his future. Uh, I still think, regardless, and I agree, it is a big year. I think Challenger's right. I think this is a big year for Mike Tomlin to start getting some of these playoff wins wrapped up and getting this team to move forward a little bit. But I will say this. I think Mike Tomlin is unfireable. And I think there's a lot of variables at that. A lot of variables that at this table today, I'm not going to go into. But I think there are some variables in there that make no sense to me that shouldn't come into play, but I think do for the Roonies. And I think that makes Mike Tomlin unfireable. And you can take it however you want. It's the truth. And I don't think Mike Tomlin, regardless of the season, is moved on from. I just don't. He has basically proven to me that he is untouchable as the Pittsburgh Steelers head coach and will be there until he doesn't want to be anymore. James Bauman, I want to see middle of the field used more and see what Roman Wilson can do. Yeah, I think the middle of the field has to be definitely utilized. And I think you'll see that with Aaron Rodgers. He has a lot of zip on the ball, a lot of creative arm angles, and I think you'll see a lot of passes into the middle. I think you'll see a lot of different things that you weren't seeing last year with guys like Russell Wilson or Justin Fields. Justin Fields has the arm to make all the throws, but he doesn't have the processing ability of an Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't have the processing ability to allow him to be an elite NFL passer. Let's be honest. And that's why paying him almost 30 some million dollars fully guaranteed over 2 seasons was a massive mistake by the New Jersey Jets. Yes, he's a great athlete. Yes, he can run, but in terms of processing, Justin Fields wasn't there yet. Did he improve? Absolutely. But did he improve enough to get $30 million fully guaranteed? Absolutely not. And I'm not sure what the Jets were looking at in terms of their player evaluation. So I think there was a massive, massive mistake made there. And I think the Steelers dodged a real bullet because of his processing. It's not there. Russell Wilson just wasn't able to get it done like he once did. Russell Wilson's an elite guy, a Hall of Fame type guy, in my opinion. Super Bowl guy, a guy that can win. But at this stage of his career, I just don't think that he has that Russell Wilson in him that he once did. Definitely, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be a significant upgrade, regardless of his age. I think the processing, the knowledge portion of Aaron Rodgers' game is head and shoulders above the two that they've had last year, and above anybody that they've had over the recent years since the departure of Ben Roethlisberger. Even Ben Roethlisberger, in my opinion, above the shoulders wasn't Aaron Rodgers. Let's just be truthful. If Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy, if Aaron Rodgers can stay upright and this offensive line starts to gel and shine, I think the Steelers have a very successful season. But I think it comes down to that offensive line really being able to withstand the attrition of the season, the war that's going to be waged this season. Aaron Jade, here we go. Steelers, what's up, Aaron? Make sure you guys are sharing the show. We truly appreciate that. Mark Malone. I'm thinking something along the lines of 38-10 Steelers win. I'm going to go with Mark. This was the score that I wrote down, guys, and I'll show you. Hold on. Wait. 34-10 Steelers is what I wrote down while I was talking to you guys. So I'm going to go with Mark. I'll be along the lines of Mark. He says 38-10. I wrote down 34-10 Pittsburgh. I think it is a big day and a great day to be a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Challenger, do you think the fact that many of our starters didn't play in the preseason will hurt them, mainly Rodgers and Metcalf? The answer to that question is maybe, but I got to say this wholeheartedly. I don't really believe it's going to matter. I just don't. These guys are tried and true professionals. They work out constantly. They practice constantly. And I can see that this team won't be rusty. James Bauman, you need YouTube hype this video feature. You need the YouTube hype this video feature. I don't know what that is, man. I have to look into that, James. Another Wombat coming in with a super chat. We appreciate you, another Wombat. Thank you for the super chat. I think people need to accept that Tomlin is here until he leaves or retires. It is what it is. They're going to be somewhere between 7-9 and 9-7. That's from another Wombat. Maybe true. It may be true. Again, thank you for the super chat, another Wombat. We appreciate you, my friend. And that could be it. And I agree. Mike Tomlin is here until he doesn't want to be anymore, guys. Tom, ain't no party like a Diddy party, Ford says. I'm so excited about the NFL opening day that I've been up since 6 a.m. Absolutely, me too, Tom. I actually was up at 3:30. I couldn't fall back asleep, so I got up and was chilling, walking around, hanging out, watching some shit on the phone. And I finally, at like 7 o'clock, I fell back asleep, just chilling on the couch. And I didn't wake up until 10:30. So I was already dressed, ready to go. I hurried up and ran over to Starbucks, grabbed the drink, spilled my wife's drink because some guy almost ran me off the road. We have a little tiny road to get in here with thousands of people that live in major developments here in Morgantown. Going on this road, and a guy about killed me, run me off the road. So I spilled my wife's coffee. Thankfully she wasn't too pissed. I offered to go back, but yeah, I was running late already, so crazy. But I'm excited too, man. It's like it's definitely like Christmas for us. James Bauman, my only concern on defense is can JPJ cut down the penalties and I hope Slay's age doesn't catch up to him. I think you're going to be great on the latter part. I think Slay will be okay. I think Slay has a couple years of good football left in the tank. Can Joey Porter Jr. cut down those penalties? Guys, I don't think the penalties are significant as some may think. You're going to get penalties in this league. Why? Because it's a penalty-happy league. We say it all the time. It ain't just JPJ. But yeah, it's always a concern when you do, but I don't think it's a big issue as some may think. Why? Because I don't want to restrict Joey Porter Jr. from playing aggressive football. I want him to be aggressive. I want him to attack the football. I don't want him to be a soft zone type corner. I want him to be a tough man up, head up, physical type corner. I want him to be a corner in which he doesn't tolerate bullshit. And that's what I want from Joey Porter Jr. So what in turn comes with that is penalties. You're going to have some penalties. Yeah, he needs to reduce them. He needs to keep those down to a minimum as best as he can. But I still don't want to go out there and restrict Joey Porter Jr. into being a soft shell type cover corner. I want to see a big, physical, nasty corner that demands a lot of respect and pushes a lot of coverage away from him, a lot of scheme away from him. I want Slay to also do those things. But I think another player to watch is Jalen Ramsey. I think you're going to see blitzes from Jalen Ramsey. I think you're going to see Jalen Ramsey all over the place. And if Jalen Ramsey picks off Justin Fields today, don't be surprised because I'm calling for Jalen Ramsey to have one interception today. And I look for the defense to score at least once and maybe possibly twice against this Jets offense because guess what, guys? They can't block. They can't do shit. They suck. It's the New Jersey Jets. It's a horrible franchise. Could the Steelers lose? Absolutely. It's the NFL. But I really, really have high hopes for what the Steelers defense can do today. Zach Curry, I like the sounds of that, Mark. AQ Doug, Craig says 37-3 from Big AQ, my cousin. I like that score, Doug. I could see it. I could see it happening. Challenger, I agree with another Wombat, but doesn't, I mean, I accept it. Yeah, it doesn't mean we accept it. Absolutely. I agree with that too. Unfortunately, I disagree with that score, 38-10. I do believe the Steelers will win, but I think it will be more close of a score. Hey, you might be right. You know the Steelers, Tom. Let's get the Zaz comment, and then we're going to talk about each unit separately and talk about the do's and don'ts for the Pittsburgh Steelers to win. Slay was keeping up with Roman Wilson at one point. Yeah, Slay is good, guys. Slay still has a lot left in the tank, man. I will not discount Darius Slay. He played really, really well last year, and I think he's going to play really, really well this year. He played with a really, really good defense last year, and he's playing with a really, really good defense this year. So I don't think really much has changed for Darius Slay, except for he's on the other side of Pennsylvania. That's really it. Roberta Campbell, what's up? Good morning, week one. Absolutely. Good morning to you, Roberta. Good to see you. All right, guys, let's go through here and talk about the do's and don'ts for the Pittsburgh Steelers and the keys to victory. We've been going for about a half hour so far, so I want to do that, and then we'll open it up back up for comments and questions, and then we'll let you guys get ready for week one as the Pittsburgh Steelers travel to New Jersey to take on the New Jersey Jets, one of the worst franchises in NFL. And I definitely believe the Steelers can win this one. But let's talk about the offense first. What does the offense need to do to be successful? It all starts up front. It always does. There is no question about that. Any good football team has an offensive line that can get things done. And I think the Steelers got to definitely have some real big plays today from their offensive line. They have to really be consistent. They have to really start to gel. And I think and I hope that this Steelers young offensive line that's filled with high value draft capital all over the place that's been invested heavily in, I think they start to come together today, and I think they start to put some of the naysayers to bed. And I think they start to gel in front of your eyes, and you're really going to start to like to see the product that the Steelers have when you start to see the full schematics of what the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be able to deploy with a guy like Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf. A guy like DK isn't like George Pickens. Everybody's so mad about George Pickens being gone. Well, George Pickens caused disruption. DK Metcalf does not. So I think that definitely it's going to be a big, big difference today when you're getting to see professionals out there. And I really, truly believe that the tight end room is going to be exceptional. And I truly believe guys like Roman Wilson, Calvin Austin are really going to be able to shine. There's another player I want you guys to look out for, a player that plays mostly special teams, but when he does get in there, he blocks and plays, and I'm not sure if he's even on the roster today. I didn't even look, and I think he is, but I didn't even look because I think he should be out there. It's Ben Skoranek, guys. I think Ben Skoranek can definitely play some ball, and I'm looking forward to seeing him. Nick Herbig is inactive. Yeah, I said that at the top of the show, James. Yeah, he's out. We'll see what happens there. You got Jack Sawyer. You got Malik Harrison. Those guys can fill in. But you really want to see a lot of T.J. Watt and a lot of Alex Highsmith. Hold on, let me miss this one. Hold on one second, Mr. Steeler fan. Hold on, man. I keep hitting the button. Hold on, there it goes. I think this game is going to tell us if Rodgers can play or not. He can play, for sure. He's a Hall of Famer, man, and we'll see what happens. But definitely, I think you're right. You're saying like this year, and I think he'll show and prove that. Roberta Campbell, I think the wide receiver room is actually better than what most people think. I absolutely do too, because you got to take into consideration the tight end room. Again, guys, I think this is going to be the best tight end room we've seen since Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski. I really, really do. Let's go to Mr. Stiller fan. The Jets are a team that we have to beat. If it looks like they have a chance of beating us, we've got some concerns going forward. I'll say this. As long as they come out with a W, I'm good. Yeah, there are going to be problems. There's going to be issues. It's week one. You're going to have things to iron out, and that goes pretty much for every week. But the Steelers got to remember this. This is the NFL. You're playing against professionals. You know, no team is absolute dog shit. Every team can win any given Sunday. And that the NFL is probably one of those few leagues that to be true. That, you know, bad teams can win at any time. Yeah, baseball, whatever, you might get lucky or something. But in the NFL, I think the competition level is as tight as it can get in any professional sports league. So definitely, I don't get as down when I'm looking at the Steelers when they take, a win by 3 against the team you think they should have blown out. I'm not as wound up about it because I'm just like, get a win, get out of the stadium, get moving, because there's a lot of variables at play when you're talking about football. James Bauman, this game should be a good warm-up for the O-line. Jones and Faetanu need the ball out. Absolutely. Let's continue talking about that. And again, Faetanu, his play is going to be imperative. Zach Frazier, I think he is going to solidify today and moving forward that he is the anchor of this Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line for years to come. And I think that his play is going to be imperative also. And I think he is going to be a huge, huge help to Aaron Rodgers in terms of interpreting defensive coverages and things of that nature, checking in and out of plays, audibling. I think the center plays a key role in that sometimes. Whenever you have a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers that wants to be versatile, that wants to check in and out of things, that wants to utilize the full extent of their schematics. So we'll see what happens there. But definitely, I think also, like I said, I think I want to look for some of the wide receivers that are further down on the depth chart. I think that those guys are going to play big roles. But I think Aaron Rodgers utilizing that tight end room is a key to victory. I think my number one key to victory, if I have to rank them in the top 3, it's the offensive line. They have to gel. They have to start to come together. There is no more time to piss around. You have to start to get it done. They've invested heavily there. They have to get that done, and I think that has to be the number one key to success for the Steelers offensively. Then you look at Aaron Rodgers and his connection with those wide receivers. How does that start to take shape today? I think that is very important. And I think the third key, and probably 2A for me, is that tight end room and how that all works out and how that all starts to gel, because I think, again, they could have something really, really special there. I think the run game will be the run game. I think they'll be solid and definitely be able to move the football with the run game, but it starts out with that number one thing, the offensive line. So those are my 3 top keys to victory for the Steelers, utilizing them as tight ends, making sure Aaron Rodgers has a connection with those wide receivers, and the timing and the chemistry be somewhat on point as much as it can be early on in the season. And I think that offensive line has to really start to gel today. We'll move over to the defense next. Let's go to Daniel Warman real quick here. Cincinnati is already 1-0. Hey, got to think positive. There you go, man. You always got to think positive. Mr. Stiller fan, see, I get that, but I am tired of just coming out with just W's. The Jets have been notoriously bad. We have to bring the pain. and beat the team in their house. It sets the standard. I agree, absolutely. I think you need to set the tone if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think today sets a tone for weeks moving forward, and that's why I believe a 34-10 victory for the Pittsburgh Steelers and really laying a smackdown and having Aaron Rodgers on the bench midway through the fourth quarter, I think is imperative for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think if the Steelers have Mason Rudolph in there midway through the fourth quarter, not due to injury, but just due to them whooping that ass, I think that that's a very encouraging sign, and I think that that's what you're going to see today. I think the Steelers dog walk the New Jersey Jets in a big, big way, and I think that will get them off to a start that is really, really awesome. And I think that that makes the Steelers confidence get built, that offensive line confidence get built. But I think you got to run the football early and often, and don't try to get wrapped up in this Aaron Rodgers elite arm talent type thing. If you're Mike Tomlin and Arthur Smith, I think you need to establish the run. The offensive line needs to establish that run game early. They want to go out there and be physical and establish that line of scrimmage and establish that tenacity, that violence. And I think that that's what they have to do early and often. And I know some fans will get pissed about it, but I think you got to come out and run the football. And I know that isn't the sexy thing to do, but I think you have to do that early and often if you were a Mike Tomlin-led Steelers team. Jamal, what's up, man? My dog, where you been, bro? Just taking a break, man. We're getting back into it, but the season starts now, so I don't got no more time for breaks. But good to see you, Jamal. Roberta says, get a win, hopefully no serious injuries, and get out. Absolutely, health is going to be totally very, very important. Challenger 22, Steelers never seem to learn that you cannot look past anyone. No, you can't. You can't. But you got to have confidence too, Challenger. And I try to preach that into my U team. Confidence, excitement. Don't walk around like zombies. Be crazy people. That's how you play this game. Fast, free, and if you're not, you're wasting your time. Warman, I don't think the Browns looked that bad this preseason, and I hate the Browns. I think the Browns are terrible, and I don't think they have real guidance, but maybe under Joe Flacco, they'll be a little bit better. Mr. Stiller fan, he's talking to Challenger. Roberta says, I agree with the offensive line. I know they're young, but they have to pull it together, slow down the penalties. Mark Malone, I'm with you on the Roman thing. I think he makes his presence felt right off the bat. I hope so, man. Let me get a drink, guys, and then we'll go to Jamal McCollum. Jamal McCollum says, I think we're in for a good game. I feel like this may be the biggest game of Justin Fields' career, so he may play well. I think this is probably the biggest game of Justin Fields' career. Why? Because he got paid a boatload of money over 2 seasons, and I don't think he earned that money in terms of what he's done so far in his NFL career. I think he really has to come out and prove guys like me that really consider his processing to be subpar and really prove people wrong. That's going to be where Justin Fields has to really shine. We know he's athletic. We know he can run the football, but you can't win championships just running the football in this league. Ask Lamar Jackson. You can't do it. I think Lamar throws way better than Justin Fields. I think Lamar processes way better than Justin Fields. But still, you can't do it just running the football. You have to be able to throw. You have to be able to establish the line of scrimmage with the run game, no doubt. I agree, but you still have to be able to process and throw the football. And I don't think Justin Fields is there. But we'll see. I'm not sure what you meant, but all right, guys, make sure you're liking, subscribing, doing all that good stuff. We actually gained a lot of subscribers, I believe, whenever I wasn't uploading a ton. So I will today upload during the game some shorts and things of that nature. So make sure you're checking out Mike Drop Sports for all that. I'll try to do maybe a brief halftime report and give you my thoughts. I'm starting to look at which games we're going to go live and have a watch-along party. Maybe we'll start to do that. I don't know if I really want to, but we'll see. I'm going to maybe pick one and do that. And also, we're going to continue to break down this Steelers team here ahead of Week 1 versus the New Jersey Jets. Thank you for joining us here at Mike Drop Sports. I'm your host, Jason, as always. Let's continue to dive in. We gave you our keys to success for the offense. We gave you our score prediction, 34-10 Steelers in a dog walk of the New Jersey Jersey Jets for the Steelers. But let's look at defensively. I think the Herbig Harmon thing is a significant blow. But I think the Steelers have enough depth that definitely they can really take this thing over defensively. I think the Steelers' depth defensively is significant in my eyes. I think there's a lot of talented players, a lot of talented pieces on this defense that can be moved around and utilized. There's teams that have, one or two superstars on their defense. You look at the Steelers and you could just name off a bunch right off the top of your head. TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Jalen Ramsey, Darius Slade, Joey Porter Jr., Cam Hayward, Patrick Queen. The list goes on and on and on. Not to mention young talent like Patrick Queen. Maybe a Cole Holcomb steps up and plays big for the Pittsburgh Steelers on his return to full NFL action today in New Jersey. So I think the Steelers defense is real simple. Be aggressive, fast and free, man. Play fast and free and be aggressive, and I think everything takes care of itself. Again, I think they have significant depth. I like this defense a lot. I think they're going to be a top 3 defense in this league and probably more like number 1 defense in this league. I don't see many better defenses except for maybe in Philly. I think Philly has a good defense, and I think the Steelers are going to rank right up there with them in terms of productivity from their defensive unit. I think this defense is going to score points, and I think this defense scores a touchdown today. I think this defense comes away with several turnovers of Justin Fields through the air, and I believe that they cause some forced fumbles. TJ Watt is notorious for it, and I believe the Steelers defensively are going to fly around fast enough that you see multiple turnovers from the New Jersey Jets, and the Steelers defense does capitalize. I do see a pick six or a fumble return for a touchdown for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I normally don't predict that because I think it's hard. I predicted that one time last year and it happened. That happened with Peyton Wilson in Cincinnati. That game that he picked that ball up and scored, I predicted that day. That's the only time in the last 2 years, other than today, that I predicted a defensive score for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I believe something similar happens. And my player to score that is going to be Jalen Ramsey. Why? Because I think in this defense, in this Steelers defense this year, you are going to see a different Jalen Ramsey. A Jalen Ramsey that you haven't seen in a very long time, if ever. A Jalen Ramsey that is going to be able to move all around and not to be able, they're not going to be able to game plan against him as well as you would like. Why? Because you have big time playmakers on the edges of the Steelers defense, and you have big time playmakers in the middle in terms of the safeties. You have Deshaun Elliott that nobody is talking about right now. That is an absolute monster that creates nothing but plays. And I think that alone is going to free up Jalen Ramsey to be able to do really special things. And I really predict something very special to happen with Jalen Ramsey today in his first time in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform. I think it's going to be Jalen Ramsey, man. I do. I do think, I don't think Jalen Warren, guys, all of you that picked Jalen Warren in your fantasy team, I think that is probably a mistake. I think Jalen Warren will pick up a bunch of numbers from 20 to the 20, but I think they're going to utilize guys like Kenneth Gainwell, guys like Caleb Johnson in the 20 and beyond to the goal line. I think Jalen Warren's home run hits are going to be where he scores. But definitely, I don't see a ton of touchdowns from Jalen Warren this year, but I do see him scoring a few. I think the big back, Caleb Johnson's going to have the majority of the touchdowns. Oh, excuse me. Game day is here. Let's go Steelers. Zach Curry. Zah says, I bet you a hot pocket that Fields is probably going to have one of the worst days of his career. That playoff game against Lamar was a fluke. When did he play against Lamar? I'm not sure. Liam Lewis, what's up? I think I remember you, buddy. Oh, it's Inger. Don't be crazy up in here, Inger. Zachary, Justin is going to find out the 10 extra million wasn't worth your career being over. I agree. I think he made a mistake. Hey, though, $30 million fully guaranteed, that makes you wealthy forever. Darnell Washington, first TD score, plus 4,000. Let's make some money. I don't think he'll score the first one, but man, that'd be nice, Doug. There's a good chance, actually. I think that's a good bet, man. Be honest, a good bet. All right, guys, let's make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing. Let's move on to the special teams here. We've went over the defense. We've went over the offense. And again, it's simple for the defense, guys. I think they are fucking stacked, and I think they're going to be nasty, and I think we'll see it early. I think Justin Fields' bell's going to be rung quite a few times today in New Jersey. So we've went over both of those big-time units, defense, offense. But what about the special teams? I think Chris Boswell comes up absolutely massive when called upon as usual. And I think that definitely Danny Smith led special teams units got to come out there and make something happen, man. I think you need to see that from that special teams group today. A fumble, a turnover of some sort, a real flip of the field. I think Corliss Waitman is somebody really, really special, and I definitely think he can do some good things in terms of flipping the field for the Steelers. So I think the special teams will be the special teams, as usual, and I think they're always solid for the Pittsburgh Steelers, except for the Presley Harvin days when he absolutely was dog shit and sucked worse than anybody I ever seen at the punter position. I do have to say this. I want to say this. Oh, he scored our first TD last year? I'm not sure. Rob Lightfoot, what's up, Jason? Give me Roman to step up as the number 2 wide receiver with 6 catches for 80 yards and TD. Let's go Steelers. Good to see you, Rob Lightfoot. Yeah, man, that'd be awesome, dude. Absolutely awesome. Definitely really, really cool if we could see a performance from Roman Wilson that's one like that. That would be really, really, really awesome. Mr. Steeler fan, special teams is key for field position and possibly game momentum. The Steelers have done well with bringing in quality special teams type players. Yeah, except for Presley Harvin. He was the absolute worst. I'm going to say something now before I forget. And I went to the high school football game here, in which my kids go to, the school district for my kids, the University High Hawks. And I got to say, they had a decent performance. The quarterback played really well. They played good defensively. I thought they could have did a little bit more offensively. They ran the same spread offense that I ran last year with my B team, my youth football team, and they need to utilize a little bit more in the motion department. They need to utilize a little bit more in their passing concepts in terms of stacking things to one side and really trying to create chaos. I don't think they do a good enough job there in that, but I think they did really, really well. They played really, really solid, but they have the number 1 punter in the nation, unanimous number 1 high school punter in the nation that plays for the University Hawks. And I got to tell you this, guys, I watched this kid hit 60-yard punts consistently. I watched his coffin corner kicks. I watched him actually turn the game and rip it wide open, landing a punt inside of the half-yard line early in the game, giving the team a chance, and they did capitalize. They got a safety, then went down and scored, opening up with 9 points. And I got to tell you, man, this is a kid I'd watch headed to Syracuse, and I wouldn't mind if the Steelers got this kid 60 yards consistently punting the ball, and his directional kicks were absolutely amazing. So this is a guy that I really want you guys to watch. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but I'm going to watch him throughout this season. But it's somebody I would like the Steelers eventually to get, because I think he's going to have a stellar career as a collegiate athlete and as a professional. Liam Lewis. Listen, I don't want to hear no Ravens shit, dude. Just take it somewhere else, Inger. I don't want to hear that shit. Ravens fucking suck. I don't want to hear it. I really don't. Challenger 22, whose jersey everyone repping today? I'm repping probably none. I don't know. I might break out the Cam Hayward one. I don't know. We'll see. But all my jerseys are becoming limited. Minka's gone. We had Kenny Pickett, that he's gone. George Pickens, he's gone. We got some old school ones, but the TJ Watt one we still have here signed. We're going to re-give that out since Sean donated it back. So we're going to give that out again at some point here. I just got to find a time to do it or want to do it. And then we'll go from there. But I don't know. Maybe I'll wear the signed jersey. But anyway, I don't know. Probably break the cam out. We got a Pat Fryermuth, so definitely we got some. Yeah, you probably don't, Inger. See ya. I ain't playing, man. You talk too much shit with dumb stuff. You don't know how to keep your mouth shut. Jamal McCollum. I got the Ryan McCollum jersey. That's awesome, Jamal. Hey, he got his Troy Polamalu. That's awesome, Jamal. If you really do got a Ryan McCollum jersey, that's awesome. Mr. Steeler fan, Troy always kind of splash plays. I love Troy, man. We have a Troy Polamalu jersey. We have a Hines Ward jersey. We have a ton, man, of the old school ones. We have a Jerome Bettis. James says he broke out the Lambert jersey today. Absolutely. Rob Lightfoot. With the lack of participation from Cam Hayward in the preseason, I'm worried about an injury to him. I hope he's satisfied with this $3 million raise. I agree, Rob, on a lot of that. I think the timing, we talked about it earlier, was absolutely stupid and creepy and weird by Cam Hayward and really rubbed me the wrong way. But I will say this, he never plays in the preseason, so I'm not really worried about that. He never plays in the preseason anyway. And he hasn't for several years. So I'm not really concerned about his readiness, his preparation. I think that'll be okay. But I agree. I think the timing of the contract bullshit was really upsetting. Yeah, I have a George Pickens jersey. I have one. It's my son's. Yeah. Also, Inger, we deleted you from before, so that should have given you your sign. Cam was on some foolish stuff there for a second, absolutely. Jamal McCollum, I do. It's my first jersey. McCollum will never get old for me. Absolutely, it won't, dude. That's awesome. All right, guys, I want to thank you for joining us here on our Pittsburgh Steelers live pregame show. Don't forget to join us here at Mike Drop Sports for our live postgame show, as hopefully we will be celebrating a big Pittsburgh Steelers win here in week 1 of the NFL season as the Pittsburgh Steelers travel to take on the New Jersey Jets in a big matchup for the Pittsburgh Steelers as Aaron Rodgers makes his return to MetLife Stadium. I do believe it's still called MetLife. But anyway, I hope you are as excited as I am for this game. I think it's going to be a massive game and a great sign of what could be a magical season in the city of Pittsburgh. And I definitely think that it's going to be something special. So we'll see what happens. My final score prediction, again, is 34-10 Pittsburgh. I think that that's a solid start if that happens. And I'm very hype also. Just as much as you guys, man, and definitely can't wait to celebrate a win with you guys and talk Steelers after today's game. Again, thank you, everybody. Truly appreciate you all, and we'll be back again, and definitely cannot wait for the post game show. Maybe we'll see if we can get Sean on. For the post-game show. So we'll see what happens there. Maybe I'll give him a text. The time difference is a little bit, so we'll see what happens. But until next time, man, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace, my friends.
Power takes an approach as a coach.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's a field back block, and that's
the guy that throws his body around.
Mike Drop Sports. Steel City Live.